Jack Kerouac, he drank himself to death in New England, and I'd like to take his hand and say, Jack, man, it's okay. Now he's gone, and we're left to move on without him. The songs howl like beat, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. Black and white headlights pierce the coals, blazing arrows.
Welcome to Talkin VAWLS, episode number 69, brought to you by the Outright Geekery Podcast Network at outrightgeekery.com. Also, we're live on YouTube via the SME Network. Make sure you guys go ahead, smash that like button, share out the link. My name is Boogie Bentley. Hey, JP, my name's Boogie Bentley.
Man,
my name is Boogie Bentley.
I thought that you was going to keep me backstage forever.
I'm Dauber. What's happening?
Let's celebrate this win. It's time to celebrate. We got 80 of my closest friends are saying, oh my gosh, Boogie's in the glasses. It's because, dude, my eyes were bloodshot in the first half. I had to get my contacts out, so I'm rocking the glasses. VFL Dave's here. Andrew Warren's here. Joe Hall's here. VFL Dave. Jeremy Webb. Troy Lee is here. Troy Lee commented on my Brian Maurer video and said, WTF, Boogie, you're the man. Bryant Rockwell's here. Rev Hoskins is here. Welcome to Talkin VAWLS. Let's celebrate together. 101 people hanging out. We've already got a super chat flowing in from Dayon Cuberson for $2.99. He says, JG's tough, but he's inconsistent. He played good, though. We're firing off right out of the gate with a $2.99 super chat. We thank you for the support. We definitely appreciate it. We're going to get into it. We got so much to talk about. Me and JP may come to blows. I don't know. We're going to find out. Welcome to Talkin VAWLS, guys.
What are we going to come to blows for? We won.
Because I'm still pissed at you for what you said. I don't forget what you say. I remember,
Why?
I recall it, and then I call you out for it on the show. That's the way we do business here.
What did I say? I just said that Cheney had a terrible first half.
Should we start off this podcast by arguing? Is that what we want to do? Or do we want to celebrate first and then break it down?
I mean, I don't care, but I mean, if anybody watched the first half,
calm down.
Tennessee got out.
I asked you a question. They got out coached. That's okay. We're going there. Right out of the gate. We're going there. JP wants to argue right out of the gate. So he wants to argue about play calling. He wants to argue about Coach Cheney right out of the gate. Tennessee with a huge win, up their odds to go bowling tremendously. But JP wants to argue about Coach Cheney in the first half. Dauber, you weren't a part of this. You went to the Cracker Barrel with the family. You enjoyed the game by yourself, nice and peacefully. Friend of the podcast, Snake DA, decided to start a group text with me and JP. We've been arguing for the last 60 minutes. I'm so pissed off at JP, I can't see straight. And he's just calm and collected because Tennessee won, and he forgets everything he said over the last 60 minutes. But I don't forget it. I remember it. I remember everything. So we're going to break it down, and we're going to talk about it. Dauber, what did you think? Because we're going to break down the first half. What did you think of the first half?
Man, I watched bits and pieces at the softball
that's
field.
not how you start a podcast. You don't start a podcast by saying, I watched bits and pieces. Why don't you just go ahead and watch Sports Center and then tell us what you think?
I was on the softball field.
That's not an excuse.
And then at Cracker Barrel, and I watched the whole thing every time I was at Cracker Barrel.
VFL Dave says, Boogie rage. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm going to rage.
Saw the pump block, and they kept talking about that in the broadcast on TV. and they blamed it on the punter. It was a bad snap that led to that. But man,
was that Pruitt's fault? Was that bad
No.
snap Pruitt's fault?
No.
Clearly, it's Pruitt's fault. He's a terrible
No.
coach. We got to get rid of him. He's never going to win at Tennessee.
I don't know. The play calling was definitely different. What I saw first half compared to the second half, it almost it was a reverse trend of what we saw with Garantano starting and then Maurer coming in the game. They seem to open it up tonight with Garantano coming in the second half.
Okay, let me break down this first half. I want to break down this first half because Dauber was at Cracker Barrel. JP is delusional. JP is a lunatic. Andrew Warren says Boogie looks like our offensive coordinator, lost 250 pounds, especially with the glasses. I love it. Just call me Little Jim Chaney. That's what I'll be. Little Jim Chaney. I want to break down the first half because I did this. The reason I got mad at you, JP, I want to break down the first half logically, not as a lunatic fan, not as a psychopath that is so involved in the game that you have lost your mind. I want to break down the first half like a normal human being. Can we do that? Can we start off Talkin Vols by doing that?
Go ahead.
You agree? Can we do that? Tennessee won. We should be happy, but instead we're going to argue.
Hey,
First half.
Just post it right there in the live chat. Vols won. I'm happy.
No, but you're happy now. But I'm dealing with first half, JP. This is what
when you're down 13-3 against Kentucky.
It's Chaney's fault. Happy. Clearly, it's Chaney's fault, right? And Pruitt's fault, right? Right.
I mean,
do you agree with what you said?
We played horrible on offense.
No, I didn't say that. I said it's Chaney's fault and Pruitt's fault that first half. Is that correct?
I mean, I did not think that the coaching was good in the first half.
I'll say what you said to me. Yes or no? Pruitt's fault and Chaney's fault. That's what you're going with.
Yes.
This is what I want to get into. The first half of the football game, Tennessee's offense. I've got my notes here. I'm going to read them right off my phone. Tennessee's offense had 5 drives. One of those, they had 20 seconds on the clock right before the end of the half. So can you really count that? I don't know that you can. So the first drive, we had piss poor blocking on a screen pass. They tried that little quick screen out, and they lost 3 yards right out of the gate. Then you had holding on third down, which it was an incomplete pass anyway. So I'll give that to you. Incomplete pass. But there was holding, so it wouldn't have mattered. Second drive, Maurer skips 2 passes, throws them in the dirt. 2 passes, throws them in the dirt. Is that Chaney's fault? Is that Pruitt's fault? I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm fired up. Guys, we got 148 of you here. Bear with me. Stay with me. If it's your first time on Talkin Vols, bear with me. I'm pissed at JP. I'm taking this out on him, and then we're going to celebrate, I promise. So second drive, Maurer skips 2 passes. So that's 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 if you count the 20-second drive, and then a drive that Maurer, whatever. Third drive, they're moving the ball. They get down to the red zone. Everything's clicking. The offense is rolling. And then what does Trey Smith do? He joins the wrestling council. He comes off the top rope, Macho Man Randy Savage style, and puts them in a 2nd and 22. Is that Jeremy Pruitt's fault? Is that Jim Chaney's fault?
I thought he'd done the earthquake, like typhoon or whatever, earthquake and typhoon.
Is that Jim Chaney's fault? No, it's not. It's not. So you put him up against the wall again. So this is 3 drives that you cannot blame coaching for. 3 drives that you cannot blame coaching for. 4th drive, this is the one I'll give you. They came out, they passed twice after an 8-yard run on first down. The second and 2, they go back-to-back pass plays, and then they end up punting. And I get it. I buy into that. That's the first half. That just summed up the whole first half. So Kentucky has a great first drive. Give them kudos, give them credit. They go down, 17-play drive. They march down the field. Everybody's saying, Boogie, calm down. Calm down. I'm going to celebrate. I'll be with you guys in a minute. I'm explaining to you why I get fired up when JP gets negative, because you had one good drive by Kentucky. Their second drive is after a blocked punt, 2 plays touchdown, and you're ready to freaking fire Pruitt and fire Chaney, and it's nuts. You're crazy. You're crazy. I'm done. It's over. Take over. JP, defend yourself, and then we'll move on.
I told you. I told you in the chat that I'm a huge Chaney fan.
Sounded like it.
But the first half was bad. I mean,
but
it was
can
bad.
you blame after
We scored
everything I
3
just said?
points.
Everything I
Boogie,
just
we
said.
scored 3 points. That's
Yes,
all that
and
matters.
I just explained to you how that's on the players. It's on execution, not these coaches.
Okay.
You disagree. You disagree. Maurer throwing the ball in the dirt is on the coaches. Trey Smith dropping an elbow and putting him in 2nd and 22 in the red zone is on the coaches. I'm sick and tired of this fan base saying Jeremy Pruitt's got his hands full. This roster sucks. They got that Butch Jones mentality. I don't think Jeremy Pruitt can get it done. And then these players come out and fail to execute. And instead of pointing fingers at them for not getting the job done, we blame coaches. That's the easy way out. And I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Huge win for this Tennessee football team. Huge win for this coaching staff. And yet we still sit here and say, it's Jeremy Pruitt's fault. It's Jim Chaney's fault. That's the easy way out.
Are you
got
done,
nothing? I'm waiting on a logical answer to that. I am going to have a heart attack, Alan V. I'm so fired up because I'm so excited for this team. I'm excited for these coaches. I'm excited for these players, but I'm sick and freaking tired of people blaming these coaches when players fail to execute. That's why I'm fired up. That's why I'm fired up tonight. But you got no answer other than, well, they only scored 3 points. That's not a freaking answer to blame Jeremy Pruitt for or to blame Jim Chaney for. So I'm waiting on facts because I've given facts tonight, and I'm waiting on a retaliation with facts instead of opinions.
Well, it sounds like that, unfortunately, that we didn't start the right quarterback.
That's okay. So I agree with that. Maybe.
I mean,
Maurer's throwing balls in the dirt. So is that Maurer's fault or is that
that's
Pruitt's
the weirdest thing ever? I mean, it's just the weirdest thing ever. Of course, Chaney not even trying to even get the running game going at all.
Yep, because they couldn't because they failed to run the ball.
I mean, but that's the problem. I mean,
How did Tennessee move? How did Tennessee move the ball in the second half? With the passing game or with the running game?
Yeah, they threw it.
7 of 8, 115 yards by JG.
A player came in and executed and moved the ball.
Yep. Do it.
Right?
Yeah.
So maybe if you want to question Coach Pruitt's decision to start Maurer, maybe I could agree with that. Maybe that was a poor decision. But what's crazy is everybody over here in the live chat, everybody in Ball Nation is dying for Maurer to get the opportunity to start. But then we're gonna question Pruitt. That's all I'm saying. That's all. My point is, it's so easy to blame coaches. And yes, I'm fired up. There's 154 of my closest friends. I promise I'm going to calm down. We're going to celebrate. I had a huge chip on my shoulder coming into this podcast. If you guys could not tell, I don't like blaming coaches without facts. I feel like I brought facts. I'm waiting for a retaliation. I feel like I have not got that yet. Brandy Adams says, Dauber, how you doing tonight? What'd you think of tonight's football game?
I'm good, man. Here's the thing.
Whoever questioned effing Pruitt can get off this podcast, Matt Griffith said. I put a little words in his mouth, but that's basically what he said.
Here's the thing. Players play and coaches coach. At some point, when things don't go right, it's a little bit on both of them. Okay?
Dropping an elbow off the top rope is on Pruitt.
No.
Blocked punt is on Pruitt. Throwing balls in the dirt is on Pruitt.
Hey, come on. Chill.
Nope, not chilling. I'm fired up tonight, boys. Let's go. You better bring some energy or I'm going to run you out of the podcast. Well, you guys got to bring it tonight. Boogie's fired up. I don't know what they're saying in the live chat. Dauber's gone. It's just me and JP, me and my closest friend, the two that started this podcast. Dauber's gone. The Bilbo Tennessee says, since I questioned Pruitt, I guess I'm out. No, you're not out. You can question Pruitt. There's a difference between questioning and blaming. That's all I'm saying. JJ Banks says, Boogie and JP need to go to Waffle House. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. This is why we don't text each other during games. And I blame Danny. I blame Snake DA because he started the group chat, which led to the argument. People are so mad at me. People are so mad at me right now. But I'm dropping facts. I'm dropping facts. Can we move on? Hey, John Clark, no, I won't shut the hell up because this is my podcast and you're listening to it. So is this what you want? Is this what you want? Is this what Did you enjoy that? Is that what you want? Do you want that podcast? Because this is my podcast. So if you don't like it, hit the road, Jack, because I don't care. I don't care. This is my podcast. You're here to listen to it. So if you don't like it, then piss off. Do not care. Mason Monroe with $1 super chat. Thanks for the support. I don't know where Dauber's at. He shut his camera off and he left. He's mad. He must be mad at me because I'm bringing opinions tonight.
Dude,
Dauber's back.
No, you're just ranting and raving and not letting anybody talk.
That's not facts. That's not facts. Oh, Dauber's mad now. He's going to punch his camera. So, JP, let's get into it. Let's talk about the game. Look, I came in aggressive. I came in with opinions. I told you guys I wanted to get it off my chest, and now we're going to celebrate. So let's talk about it. But people are mad at me. Ty Meyer says, quit interrupting Dauber. Boogie, you're being an ass tonight. I'm sorry. I got opinions. But now we're going to calm down. We're going to celebrate, and we're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. What do you got, Vols, JP? Wait, let's hit this super chat. We'll calm down. We'll take a breath, and then we'll move on. Gabe Correa says, it's great to be a Tennessee Vol. The players made a stand and showed what kind of character they have. Keep believing. Jimmy Lovelace follows it up with a $2 super chat. Says, this is for Boogie getting it on tonight. Look, you guys can laugh. You guys can have fun. I am being aggressive. I'm putting on a show for you guys, but I'm also speaking from the heart. I'm speaking the way I feel. It is directed at JP tonight because we had a long text message going on, and I see it not just from JP. I see it from a lot of people. CJ Hyde says, shut your damn mouth, Boogie. It's almost as big as you. Nope, I won't shut up. You don't like it, leave. Get out of here, CJ Hyde. Don't care. I don't care if you leave. Dauber has every opportunity to speak when he's not punching his microphone and yelling. So Dauber's back. Dauber has the opportunity to speak.
You are the one yelling.
Do you want to talk? You can talk. You have the opportunity to talk. Go for it, Dauber.
You've been going for 18 minutes now.
Yep, because you punched your microphone, you muted yourself, you shut down your camera. But you're back now. You can talk.
I wasn't even in on this.
Nope, but you can talk now. So you can yell at me or you can talk. Go.
I'm not yelling at anybody. We just won a football game.
Yep.
And you're the one yelling and being aggressive to our listeners. I mean, calm down, dude.
Nope.
Seriously.
Voice and opinions.
Yeah, and everybody's got one. And you know what they're like?
Go ahead, man. I'm letting you talk, but now you're fussing at me for yelling, and now you're yelling at me. So you can talk. Go ahead. You want to yell at me? We can just shut it down. You can yell at me. I don't care. Go. You're up. Go. Wear it out.
Let's
Go.
talk about the positives.
There's tons of positives. Tons of positives.
Let's
the way
talk
this team
about
came
them.
out and played in the second half.
The second half. I mean, this football team bowed up in the second half. I mean, the defense shut them out. You know, if it hadn't been for Chandler fumbling, you know, there's no way that Tennessee would even had a chance to lose that game in the second half there. I mean, you know, but, you know, the team, you know, made the plays that it took in the second half. And again, you know, I mean, I've been the biggest critic of Jarrett Gantano that they've been, but I mean, the guy's like Rocky Balboa. I mean, he just keeps on just getting up off the mat. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. I mean, hats off to him. I don't know, but yeah, you know, and who's to say even more who's the best quarterback on this football team? Who's the starter? Because I mean, it's just crazy how that this team has went over the last month juggling that quarterback position. You know, and again, you know, yes, I mean, I was critical of Chaney in the first half, but you know what Chaney's done with this offense over the last month has been very, very impressive. Considering
Myers says Boogie's
what's
losing
going
subs.
on
Boogie
is losing quarterback
subs.
position.
like crazy tonight. People are saying Dauber's so mad that his beard is standing up straight. Look, I had a lot to get off my chest because I'm so proud of this team. I've been proud of this team all year. But then when you get it's almost like you get attacked for defending this team, for defending this coaching staff. I'm so proud of the way these kids played. In this first half, this game started probably the worst way you could possibly imagine. Kentucky goes straight down the field. What was it? 17 some plays. I don't remember what it was. They converted like 3 or 4 third downs. They converted a 4th down. They ran it down Tennessee's throat. There was nothing Tennessee could do to stop them. Tennessee gets the ball 3 and out. Right out of the gate, 3 and out. Worst possible start you can imagine. They get a punt blocked. And then Kentucky goes 2 plays touchdown. Thankfully, a blocked PAT. Tennessee's down 13-0 right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. How do you respond? Can you play through adversity? Can you dig deep? Can you find a way to fight back and win through that adversity? I felt like Ansley, I don't know if it's on Ansley. I don't know who to praise. Ansley, and I feel like they made adjustments. I felt like through that first drive, I told you, JP, I said they're trying to bring that nickel blitz that they brought all year. And Kentucky's just like, cool, hold my beer. I'm going to run to the weak side where you're not bringing the blitz and you're not holding contain, and I can run all day. But I feel like Pruitt and Ansley did a good job adjusting. And after those first 2 drives, Tennessee's defense played fantastic. Fantastic. Sure, they gave up yards. They played fantastic. Live Free or Die says, Dauber, take a sip and step up to the mic. You're good, man. Go. If you want to prove a point and just stare at me like that, you can just leave and me and JP will continue. That's up to you, man. That's up to you.
We good.
Okay. Do you win a podcast or not?
I thought this was the yelling podcast or something, man.
Clearly we got past that, but clearly you can't recognize that. So do you want a podcast or not?
Dude, do you?
I think we moved past that.
All right. Let's roll.
Well, we're waiting on you. They want to hear what you have to say.
I think this team came out like we talked about Wednesday, and after the adjustments made at halftime, showed the mentality that they have. This coaching staff made the adjustments. We got gashed in the first half that I saw. I saw somebody in the live chat talking a high school offense, and that's pretty much what it was. One-dimensional. Bowden had 7 pass attempts. I mean, that is not a Division I collegiate quarterback playing right there, and he gashed us, especially in the first half. Of course, we had the blocked punt, gave him a short field right there, but second half we came out. We had the bend but not break. We shut them down. Was it 4 times on 4th down, counting that last goal line stand?
Let me hit this. It's going to play into what you're saying. Pecan for $2. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate the support. Says, worst defensive play I've seen in college this year. I don't agree. I feel like this defensive staff adjusted after those first 2 drives. And what Dauber's saying, it was bend, not break. They got the stops they needed to get. A huge stop at the end of the game. That stop won the game. We're texting, and I'm saying, I think if Kentucky scores here, I don't have the confidence that Tennessee can go down the field and score. Go ahead, continue talking about the defense, Dauber.
The one thing that I was a bit puzzled by, though, is we knew this coming in. Based on what Kentucky had done their last 3 games with Bowden at quarterback, we knew he was going to run the ball. Even though a couple of those games were in piss-pouring rain, and you don't want to throw the ball in weather like that. We knew that's their game plan with him. And we talked about it Wednesday. We thought, man, I like Pruitt and Ansley to dial this up and shut it down, and it didn't happen. It just I don't know if we were being over aggressive or just. I mean, the kid's an athlete. You saw that on a couple of those scrambles where he broke loose and ran 40 yards for an 8-yard gain or whatever it was. But man, second half on the defense, apart from a few the personal foul that continued that one drive, man, it's those things that we've talked about all season long. This team cannot overcome those mistakes. It's little things like that, like the Trey Smith penalty. Those things, it's hard for this team to overcome. And then, we get down time to salt the game away, and Chandler coughs it up. And I don't know if I blame that on him or Garantano or a combination of both, because he never really got the handoff. So it's just a thing that this team has to learn to win, and that's 3 in a row now. So,
I don't get. We'll get into it. Mason Monroe with a $5 super chat says, "Best we can do is win a bowl. I think the staff should introduce the Jawan Jennings Award, given to the hardest playing team member every season." Look, we can say it over and over and over. Jawan is a dog. He's a dog. That's what everybody calls him. We need 22. We need 22 of those. Alan V says, "I love the emotion that college football brings out. I love this game. Congratulations, Vol fans." And I'm just going to touch on that, and then I'm going to drop all this drama that's happened in the first 27 minutes. Man, we may go into overtime tonight because of my rant and because of my emotion. College football brings out emotion in me. It brings out emotion in JP. It's why we don't text each other during games. A little bit here and there, but Snake DA decided to start a text thread with me and JP, and it started. I said, we're done. We stopped, but the emotion continues to build. It continues to build in me. I let it out. Dauber got caught in the crossfire. I apologize to Dauber. I apologize to JP. Me and JP have had this argument 1,000 times. It's okay. We're going to be fine. I apologize to Dauber because he got caught in the crossfire. We're fine. We're moving on. Everybody in the live chat that hates me.
Move on.
Everybody in the live chat that's saying Dauber needs a voice. Hashtag
Balls won.
Dauber's a victim.
Balls won.
Hashtag Dauber needs a voice. It's fine. We're going to be fine. Let me hit this super chat, then we'll get your thoughts, JP, moving forward. Jay Brackens 99 with a $2 super chat says, "Good day of football. Bama lost. Balls won."
Amen to that.
Roll Tide.
Amen to that.
Roll Tide. All right, go ahead, JP.
Amen
We'll get back
that.
into it.
No, I mean, I was just going to say, everybody was expecting this to be a tough game. I mean, everybody was. I can't remember what your all's score predictions were, but they were way closer than mine, because honestly, I thought that if Malware played, that we would light them up. I really did, and for whatever reason, we didn't. Which, hats off to Kentucky. They ran the perfect offense to control the clock. That first drive, my goodness, they held it for over 10 minutes, before we even got the ball. There's 4 minutes to go in the first quarter and stuff like that. So, they had the perfect game plans set up, and we done some stupid stuff to just put ourselves behind. But again, we came out in the second half, and it's amazing. Again, he puts JG in, he comes off the bench, and he plays great and leads them back. But this was a beat up football team. That's what we talked about. How many consecutive games that Tennessee had played? Kentucky.
Six, and 2 of those were Alabama and Georgia. Of course, South Carolina and Mississippi State is in that mix too.
I know,
and Kentucky coming off of a bye week.
With a bye week, yeah.
Yep.
So, and I'm sure that Kentucky ran things there in the first half that Tennessee, probably hadn't seen. I'm sure that they had some extra wrinkles in there and stuff. But, at the end of the day, this football team found a way to win. I mean, was it a nail biter? Absolutely. Absolutely it was. And I mean, just a heck of a goal line stand down there, in the fourth quarter. And just a really gutsy play call there on third down to seal the victory.
Love that play call. And I sent you a text
having
right before they called it. I said,
JG
would you go play action here and see what happens? They go play action. JG makes a play with his feet, gets the first down. Robert Neal with a $1.99 super chat. Thanks for the support. Says Elijah Simmons on fourth down for the win.
Was he in? I didn't even know if Simmons was in or not. If so, I mean that's stout. I know that Blakely was the one that kind of made the play there. Him and
let's talk
Daniel
about this.
Live Free or Die just dropped a $10 super chat just to say he loves us and he wants us all to get along and have a good time and enjoy a Christmas party together and just celebrate life together. Mason Monroe drops a $2 super chat and says, "Thank God we have a bye week." Go ahead, Dauber.
Let's talk about when we went on the road last year to Auburn. Let's talk about what we did then. 50-50 balls thrown up to Callaway, to Jennings, getting those guys involved. What JG do in the second half tonight? A lot of 50-50 balls, a lot of back shoulder. Your athletes making plays. Callaway grabbing a ball, Palmer grabbing the ball, toe touch. What an athletic play by Palmer.
This is a heck of a play.
Yeah, I was talking to Davis during the game, and he was like, "We don't give Palmer enough credit. We do not give that guy enough credit for the catches that he makes."
I mean, he drops the ones that you should be making and catches those. One that he has to do a 360 around and toe touch to get in.
This is the greatest live chat in the history of the show. Spectre5 says, "This podcast is trying to imitate the Vols. Rough first half, but making halftime adjustments and turning it around." Hey, we love each other, man. We've known each other a long time. I had some strong opinions. I got them off my chest. Everything's good. If anybody in the live chat still hanging out going, "Boogie, you're a jerk. Boogie, you're an a-hole." Just bear with me, man.
He is, and he knows it.
So is Dauber.
And we embrace
So is DP. You should be in the text thread with him. He is a complete a-hole. You guys just don't see it. I bring my personality to the podcast. JP hides it in text messages, and that's okay. That's okay.
All I said was it was a horrible first half.
No, don't start. Don't get me started again. Don't get me started again. That's not what you said. That's not what you said. Let's talk about this coaching staff that JP's complaining about right now. Let's talk about the adjustments that we see them making. You guys talking about the second half? I think it took place after. That second drive, yes, Kentucky, 2 plays, 20, 30 yards for a touchdown, 2 run plays, easily walked in. So you can include that if you want. That wasn't really a drive. Wes Wadley says, "Guys, this coaching staff has gotten better in game." And I agree. I think they made the adjustments they needed to make. I feel like, I know JP wanted to run the ball. We all want to run the ball. But when it's not working, you have to adjust. They started throwing the ball. JG came in, made some great, like Dauber said, 50-50 balls. They're making plays. They're moving the ball. The defense stood strong after that second drive. After that second drive, Tennessee, bend, don't break, don't let them score. I think this staff did a great job making adjustments.
I agree because that's what we'd seen this team time and time over again. Anytime anything went bad, they would just fold. And this team has definitely proven that they can bounce back. Who would have ever been, even last year or even earlier this year, down 13-3.5 and still feeling like that this football team could come back and win. And they came back and pretty much dominated the second half. Had a couple of opportunities there to, that you'd like to seen the offense put the game away. That's all that we really needed. was to just go down the field and score one more touchdown or even a field goal, and just put that game away. But fortunately, we were able to hold on there at the end after that crucial fumble. But and yes, I mean, this coaching staff. I mean, I thought, certainly in the second half of that game that the defense stepped up and they played much better in the second half, and and then whether or not that it was the coaching or the performance of Garantano, but obviously in the second half we made some plays with the Jennings and Callaway and Palmer.
So, and well, first, always optimistic says, well, with all the excitement, you've got 223 of your closest friends hanging out now. That's right. Sometimes drama creates views, and I'm not trying to create views. I'm just getting my opinion off of my chest. But I do have 206 of my closest friends hanging out now. 4 people are real pissed at me and hit the thumbs down. If you guys want to make it right, if you guys love Vols JP, if you guys love Dauber and you hate me, smash that thumbs up. It'll help the analytics for Talkin Vols, and we would really appreciate that. Let me ask you this, JP, and again, I'm not picking a fight. I just want to know your true opinion. That first half, you were done with Jeremy Pruitt. You were so pissed at Jeremy Pruitt and at Jim Chaney in the first half, right?
Well, here's the problem with it, Boogie, is this program cannot afford to lose any momentum that they got going, and that's not a good Kentucky football team. I mean, it's a one dimensional offense with a wide receiver that's playing quarterback. I'm just looking at long term. Tennessee could not afford to lose that football game tonight. Yes, I mean, I understand that they could still make a bowl if they had lost that game tonight, but to keep any kind of momentum going after the way that this season started, this team needs to continue to win, and they really need to win out. I mean, that's just to try to save. But that's the frustrating part about it, is when you watch that first half and you see what this offense is capable of, and we score 3 points. I mean, we scored 3 points.
Right.
And,
but that's
the frustrating part about it.
What I try to bring to your attention, which sometimes it creates us arguing with each other and getting very aggressive, but it's what I try to bring up is there's a difference between, yes, they only scored 3 points, but is that coaching or execution? And when we break down this team and we talk about Jimmys and Joes versus X's and O's, I don't think you can blame that first half on execute or on coaching. I think it's more on execute. What do you think, Dauber? Do you think that first half?
Well, like I said before, I think it's a little bit of both. It's some maybe bad calls or poor execution. Anytime that a team beats you on a play, the guy lined up across from you beats you on a play, it is you're either out of position because of the play call or he beat you in execution and effort. And I mean, it goes both ways. It's a give and take. It's not solely one thing. It can't be solely the coach's fault, and it can't be solely the player's fault, unless you have something like Garantano doing what he did against Alabama, taking it upon himself when the play call seemed to have been what needed to happen. But I mean, it's a team effort, and the coaching staff is part of the team.
Sure, I agree. I mean, I agree with that. But it as a play caller, when you call a play, and Maurer goes out there and you've got an open receiver and he throws it in the dirt on second down and he does it again on third down, it's really hard for me to criticize the offensive coordinator for that series.
No, right, and I don't.
And when I break down the first 5 series of the game, which again, that's all they got in the first half, they got 5 series, and the 5th one was a 20-second series. And kudos to Jeremy Pruitt, kudos to Big Jim Chaney. They came out, they tried to go score with 20 seconds left in the half. on their own 20-yard line. They came out throwing and tried to go score.
Yeah, that was a bit surprising. I thought they would, hand it off a couple times and go to the locker room.
Yeah, that's what I thought so too. I'm not sure why there with 5 seconds left that we didn't try to throw another quick pass and maybe get Samagley out there for a long.
I thought they were going to
attempt.
send him out there to kick a field goal from where they were, and what would have been like a 57-yarder. He was standing right beside Pruitt. He was like, "Send me in, coach. I'll kick it from 57." And I think he probably has the leg to kick it from 57.
Of course, I don't understand how that we run that play and there's only one. What was there? One or 2 seconds?
1 second. 1 second came off the clock.
Yeah. That was one of those Bama plays there. I guess I don't know. But no, I mean, talk about something positive. I mean, talk about how Nigel Warrior has really turned his season around.
Absolutely.
I mean, and whether or not he was out of bounds or not, I mean, they never showed a real definite, shot there of that. Maybe that they had a different angle, up there in the replay booth or whatever, but. You could never really see anything that 100%, in my opinion, looked like that he was out of bounds. And looking back on it, that could have been huge because obviously we ended up having to punt there, not even scoring.
I was waiting to bring up Warrior. Man, he's starting to look like Dale Carter's son.
He's playing.
Yeah.
And did you see the interview with him talking about that he was basically got a pep talk and it's like, all right, this is it. It's time to go. And it kind of lit a fire under him to go compete.
Not so much the interception, the return. What about the play where he ran through the blocker to make the tackle on the pitch?
That was an impressive play right there. That was impressive. Yeah. That was super impressive. I mean, how long has it been since we've seen Tennessee defensive backfield be able to play through a block like that and to make the tackle? Well, I mean, you can't help but think that has not been some coaching there with Pruitt and Ansley, for the way that Nigel has certainly turned his season and really his career around because, he had a bust there in that South Carolina game and gave up that touchdown on that first play. But, he has been very, very solid over the last month.
I'm telling you, I said it after the Mississippi State game. We are starting to see the hallmarks of a Jeremy Pruitt coach team. Tonight, this defense, the second half, the way they played, you get some more players in here that fit his style. Man, I'm excited for it.
I got to defend myself for 2 seconds. I got called an asshole for 20 minutes because I was so fired up defending Jeremy Pruitt. Is everybody on this podcast in agreement that Jeremy Pruitt could very well be the guy to turn around Tennessee football?
I mean, I still can't sit here and say that definitely will. I mean, I can't say it.
Nobody can say definitely, but I'm saying what you've seen the last few weeks, you take, and I know it's hard to do. I know it's hard to do because it's always lingering in the back of our minds. You take out that Georgia State game and you take out the way they lost to BYU and you look at what this team, that almost makes it more impressive what this team has done this second half of the season. The fact that they've been able to put that on the back burner and keep this team focused and continue to move forward. Would you have thought, I know you wouldn't have thought, I know what your opinion was after the BYU game. Would you have thought this team could be staring 7-5 in a bowl game in the face, JP?
No.
So
no way.
This second half of the season doesn't give look, and I get it. I get what you're saying because I said it in the video I posted on Friday. I'm not sold on Jeremy Pruitt yet, but I'm really starting to come around. I'm really starting to come around. Are you not? You don't see the upside to Jeremy Pruitt? Dauber talking about coaching guys up. Dauber talking about adjustments. I'm talking about adjustments. What this defense did after those 2 drives, you don't see the upside.
Listen, here's the thing. We're talking about a guy who has coached 22 games as a head coach
with a team that we all said needed 5 years, 4 or 5 years to rebuild.
I mean, and you've seen him, mistakes he's made this season, learn from, and he's not repeated them. You've seen him going into the locker room against South Carolina. We've got to be more aggressive. And what do? They come out, they're more aggressive. I think that this team and this coaching staff, I said it a couple of weeks ago, they know what is at stake. They know they've got to win. Now it's one more game to be bowl eligible. They know what they went through last year in this same position, needing to win a couple games and failing to do so. So you've got guys like Jennings, like Taylor, Batuli, these Warrior, Garantano, guys stepping up and making things happen.
Davis brings up a good question that kind of bleeds into what you're saying. Do we think this team is actually this motivated or fired up at this point in the season if they beat Georgia State and BYU earlier in the year? Or do you think they may have gotten too hyped? That's a really tough question because I hit on that with the UAB game. The reason I felt so confident with that UAB game because they did lose to Georgia State. I think that Georgia State loss and that BYU loss lit a fire under their tail that has created this momentum. This hey guys, this might be a t-shirt one day. This ride or die mentality. It's like you said, you're talking about seniors. Let's go out on top. Screw that. I'm not taking this. We're going out on top. William Poole with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate it. By the way, guys, I went and scouted out the restaurant where we're going for the Christmas party. It was delicious tonight. Had a great meal with my wife. No matter what you guys think, I'm not that bad of a person. I'm married. I have a wife. I have kids. I'm not a bad person. Not a bad person. William Poole says, remember, we have 64 scholarship players and are hanging in with and beating SEC teams now with very little depth. That speaks volumes to me.
True.
Absolutely.
Go Big Orange, BFL. So, JB, I'm throwing it back to you, buddy. I'm throwing it back to you. And look, I'm not asking you to say I'm in 100% with Jeremy Pruitt. He's going to win a national championship. But do you see the upside?
I do, because I think Jeremy Pruitt is a heck of a football coach. I think he is. It's all going to come down to whether or not that he can consistently continue to beat the likes of these Kentucky teams and these South Carolina teams and Mississippi States. And yes, I mean, I know, I mean, and Pruitt will be the first to admit that, you know, that they crapped the bed the first 2 games. But, you know, that's where that this team has to continue to grow, just like tonight. You know, they've got to beat these second-tier SEC teams and try to consistently beat them. And you know, hopefully this year, you know, I mean, this team has a legitimate chance to finish 7-5 and then, you know, go to a bowl game and with a great shot at you know, getting 8 wins. And you know, if anybody would have said that this team would have a shot at you know, even going to a bowl after the first 2 games, you know, I mean, none of us thought that. So yes, I mean, you know, the concerns that I still have is on the recruiting front, and I understand. You know, we just lost a huge commit this week to LSU, you know, Jay Hardy committed from Chattanooga. You know, I mean, those are the type of players that Pruitt is going to end up having to get. And I understand, you know, that these kids look at LSU, who just beat Bama today and, you know, has a great shot at winning that national championship this year. But at some point in time, we're going to have to start getting those kids, and that's the thing. Can Pruitt develop the kids that he's getting, which he seems like that he's done a really good job at it? Because you take a look at a lot of these kids that are out there playing right now. Henry To'oto is going to be. He already is. That kid's special.
Yeah.
Can just considering the fact that he wasn't even an early enrollee and he didn't get there until May or June, and the fact that he started all season long and he's really starting to come in his own. He played awesome tonight, made a huge play down there at the goal line to help the Vols win. So players like him, Crouch is learning how to play the defense, all of that. So yes, I do feel like that there's going to be some staff turnover this year, and I almost kind of hate that, but I feel like that Pruitt probably feels like that he's going to have to do it to try to get some advantages as far as the recruiting things go. I don't think it's probably as much as he feels like that he needs some better coaching. I feel like that he feels like that he needs some better recruiters.
Did you see one of the names getting tossed around this week?
Tosh,
yeah,
Lapoe or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If he was, if Kitchens and all that bunch was to get canned up there at Cleveland, he was an awesome recruiter at Bama.
Well, you look at what Pruitt did this season. Not really having room, but finding a way, moving people around, working things to get T in here, to get Ansley. His focus is recruiting. His focus is building this team because he knows we're down in numbers, we're down in talent, and we're down in really guys that fit his style, that fit his size and shape and speed. You look up and down this lineup, there are a lot of guys that are not typical SEC size and speed that are turnovers and hangovers from the previous coaching staff. Once we get guys that aren't getting pushed around by App State or ETSU or teams like that on our offensive and defensive lines, and we're starting to get that. You see guys like Wanya and those guys on the line right now. They're learning as they go, but we see that potential. We see the good plays, especially the second half of the season. The good plays are now outweighing the bad plays. Of course, Wanya got torched a couple times last week against UAB, but again, true freshman. And I'd rather him be out there learning against the likes of UAB than against Alabama. So next year, when he's lined up against Alabama, he's making the plays.
A lot of guys in the live chat talking about quarterback play. I want to kind of get into that first. I do want to say there are 232 people hanging out in the live chat. This is the most we've had all season since the loss to Georgia State. So it's nice to see this high number after a win when we're here celebrating. Yeah, we came out hot. We came out firing on all cylinders. It may have fired some of you up. Some of you are mad at me. Some of you don't like Boogie anymore, and that's fine. I get it. 5 of you decided to hit the thumbs down. Some of you are just kind of hanging out, lurking. A lot of you are hitting that thumbs up. If you hit the thumbs up, it helps Talkin Balls. If you don't like Boogie, if you feel like I was aggressive towards JP or I was mean to Dauber, you can tell them thank you by smashing that thumbs up. It helps all of us here at Talkin Balls. So hit that thumbs up, drop the live chat, hit the thumbs up, come right back in. It's no big deal. It takes you 2 seconds, but it does help boost the analytics, and we definitely appreciate you guys doing that. Quarterback play. Maurer did not look good tonight. Maurer did not look good. JG came in, played really good second half. He made some plays with his feet. He extended some plays, made some great throws. What do you guys do going forward? What do you do against Missouri? What do you do against Vanderbilt? I know we've been up and down. We've been all over the place all year long. I hit on it Friday when I dropped the video about Brian Maurer. I'm to the point that I don't know what I do at quarterback, but the way Garantano played today, the way he played last week,
Well,
I'm almost rolling Garantano out for the rest of the season.
That's one of the things that I talked about last week. You know, we're being told, you know, he's taken what 60% of the snaps. The videos that I saw from practice for the UAB game, all his throws were high. They were erratic, and he was way off. Garantano and Shrout actually looked better in the practice video that I saw last week. So, you know, we talked about it Wednesday. What is going on with Maurer? What is the deal? Have we been told everything? Is he still hurt? Is there something lingering? But then again, the sample size that we have is 3 games, and he's not finished any of those.
And not to keep going back to that video I did, but what I talked about in that video on Friday, talking about the Brian Maurer situation, it was almost the timing of the situation. The timing that he came in, Tennessee was, I'm trying to think back to the stats, like 1-4 or something at the time, struggling on offense. He came in and you saw a little bit of a spark.
Oh, absolutely.
But before you saw the full picture, he got hurt. Then he came back in, you saw a little spark, he got hurt again. So was he like this false savior of the Tennessee program? And again, the sexiest player on the team is always the backup quarterback. What do you think, JP? What do you think about the quarterback situation? What would you do moving forward?
I was just sitting here thinking about it. I mean, you know, based on the way that Garantano has played these last couple of weeks, you know, and especially with the way that Maurer struggled today, I mean, it almost thinks that you have to go back with 2. But the question I have is, do you bring him in off the bench again? You know, do you keep doing that? Because, you know, is there some kind of mental thing there that, you know, if you declare him the actual starter, is he going to revert back to his ways? You know,
I mean, it's like
it'll be interesting to see. Maybe in 2 weeks against Missouri, if they feel like that Garantano is the best, maybe they'll roll Jennings out on the first play again. You know, I mean, I don't know. This has been probably one of the most craziest seasons as far as the quarterback play that I can remember in a long time, with a team that is actually winning football games with a quarterback carousel.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the last several years, I mean, you know, what was it in 2017, the year that Jones got fired? I mean, we had Will McBride starting, you know, and I mean, nobody thought that he was a SEC caliber quarterback. And he ended up proving that and transferring out. I don't even know where he even went to. But, you know, that's what's been really a bit it's really been impressive to me that Chaney and this offensive staff has been able to, you know, at least enable this offense to score some points with the way that they've had to shuffle this quarterback. And basically the last, 2 weeks we've been playing with a quarterback with one arm, basically, or one hand. But, you know, I mean, also, I mean, you have to give credit to this defense, and you know, I mean, outside of the first quarter tonight, they didn't give up a single point. You know, Kentucky had both of their touchdowns there in the first quarter, and you know, really, you could argue that second one was, you know, special teams blunder. So with that, but
apparently,
you know,
I'm on CNN. Nancy Pelosi is calling impeachment. There's all kinds of stuff going on with Boogie in the live chat. You guys are awesome. Keep it rolling. I'll be the butt of the jokes all night long if you guys keep it hot like this, because I love you guys. You guys are hilarious. Ricky Rude says 2 to 3 weeks ago, you guys were convinced Maurer was your guy. What a difference 3 hours on the field can make. Absolutely, because guess what? The business of college football is, what have you done for me lately? That's just the reality. And the fact is, Maurer wasn't getting it done in the first half. He wasn't hot. He wasn't, and Pruitt's talked about going with the hot hand, and he brought Garantano in. And me and JP were talking about it in the first half before we were yelling at each other. After that second series, we're like, all right, here it goes. Garantano's going in the game, no doubt about it. We're both pissed about it. And then he just keeps going with 18. And if he had put Garantano in the game at that point, I would have been mad. But when he put him in to start, I was not mad at the time because the offense wasn't clicking. It wasn't rolling. Garantano came in, and this team never looked back. They never looked back once 2 came in the game. It's baffling to me. That's why I asked you guys. I don't know what to do moving forward. I don't know who the best quarterback is. Let's just go with that Pruitt mindset. Let's just roll with the hot hand. Guys, look, we're an hour in, but let me tell you something. I love you guys so much. I took up 20 minutes of your time yelling and screaming at people. I didn't cuss anybody. I didn't cuss anybody or call anybody names. But there's 246 of my closest friends here. If you guys will all commit to going down and smashing that like button, we'll just stay live. We'll just keep going. We're not going to stop. We're just going to keep podcasting. But you guys got to go smash that like button. So I'm going to check. I'm going to check. And if you guys don't do it, we're going to go off air. Aubin 256 says, Boogie, make Tennessee football great again. I'm trying.
Hey, listen, the bye week hits us at a good time because both the guys we're talking about are dinged up. I do not think Maurer's 100%. I do not think he's been 100%. And we know Garantano's got screws in his hand. I mean, not to mention the other guys on the line. Defensively, we got some guys dinged up. Had Henry T going out tonight, tweaking his knee, coming back with that big brace on. We need to get healthy. Take this week off to get healthy, and then we've got another tough one coming up. I mean, Missouri's they've kind of tanked off, but it's on the road. It's in the SEC. So this team can't let down. This team needs to keep riding that momentum. They need to have a good week of practice. Take a couple days off. I'm sure Pruitt's going to give them a few days off to kind of heal. Like we talked about, it's been a grind. It's been 6 games, and you're talking Bama, Georgia. I don't know if you can throw South Carolina in that, but I mean, any SEC game is going to be tough. So this team needs to heal up and close out these last 2 games the way that we've been trending, the way that this team's been playing, the improvements that we've seen week to week. We need to keep playing solid football. Minimize the mistakes, minimize the penalties.
Sorry, that's just a funny comment. 3 of my closest friends with 3 different shades of orange clothing. Only on Talkin VAWLS. It's so true, though. So true.
It could just be the resolution of the monitors.
No, it's not. It's Tennessee. Mine's Nike. What's yours?
Mine is old school baseball throwback, team issued.
JP's looks like a yard sale special.
I've had this sweatshirt for probably 20 years.
Well, there you go. That's why it's faded. It's been washed 472 times. Corn Dog Lover says, here's a $4.99 super chat. Guys, we may go live all night long. If you all smash the like button and you keep super chats coming, I may make these guys live stream for 4 hours. I'm in that kind of mood. Started off raw, but I'm in a good mood now. We're celebrating. We're having fun. Lover. You let me get it off my chest. I may go 4 hours, and then I may go fix a corn dog and drink a root beer. I don't know. Corn Dog Lover says, hey, guys, I'm an LSU fan and shamefully came to watch after the Georgia Southern loss, but have kept coming back since. Love the show. JP is awesome. Is this another fake account? Clearly, you didn't hear my rant to start the show. If you hated my rant to start the show, put a 1 in the live chat. If you enjoyed my rant to start the show, put a 2 in the live chat. I'm just curious.
Corn Dog Lover, appreciate the shout out and the super chat there. I have to admit, outside of the Tennessee Vols, LSU has the best looking uniforms in college football. Outside of the Tennessee Vols.
Was the one that you loved my rant or hated it? I already forgot what I said. One was you hated it. Yeah, I knew, Brandy. I knew you would hate it. Come on, I was attacking your man. No one special doesn't know what he thinks. Mixed feelings, guys. It is what it is. But we're celebrating now.
Hey, I think Jimmy Lovelace hit it right here. Can you go back up and hit that?
Hold on, let me go back up.
That is dead on.
Yep,
Dead on.
that is 100%. Mine is 2018.
Hey, but at least it's not like the Adidas where players on the field and pants and shirts don't match and their cleats are a different shade.
But I will complain about Nike. Look at the sleeves on this shirt. The elastic on both sleeves came off. This is a $70 hoodie, and the sleeves came off within a year and a half. Absolutely ridiculous. Davis says, where'd he go? Where'd you go, Davis? Davis, where'd you go? Davis says, 120 likes, guys. Prove me wrong. More thumbs up. 244 people hanging out. Let's get back into the game. Let's not beg for super chats and likes too much. Anything else? How about Tennessee's inability to run the football? Is that a concern moving forward against Missouri and
it's a huge concern.
Vanderbilt?
It's a huge. I mean, what's happened to this football team? I mean, as far as running the football goes, I mean, look at what we did against Alabama. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of, which I know that we got some guys hurt, and maybe that's what it is, but it's just kind of baffling that we haven't had the success against, UAB and now Kentucky and even South Carolina to an extent.
We've gone away from Jordan quite a bit.
I know.
But he struggled, man. When he comes in, it seems like, he's still hitting the
Chandler
hole hard.
Fumbled, Bobby Taco.
He's hitting the hole hard, but he's not gaining anything. He's not getting. I feel like he has kind of been up and down all season. But All Man 2256 with $1 super chat. Thanks for the support. He wants us to go live all night long. You can do that too by smashing the like button, dropping some super chats. I don't know that it's a running back situation versus an offensive line run block. I feel like they're pass blocking well.
Yeah, that's
last week they didn't. Last week they struggled across the board.
Oh, it's been a huge improvement with this offensive line this year, has been able to pass block. But I don't know. It's just kind of weird that it's like the last three weeks that we've taken a step back as far as running football goes. I think we only had 86 yards tonight.
Yeah.
Of course, Kentucky had over 300, but
when that's all they did.
Well, yeah.
It's like
25 passing yards.
It's like I said in the text message. It's a gimmick offense that you have to figure out how to stop. Sure, you don't like giving up that many rushing yards, but it is what it is. You got to figure out how to stop it. It's misdirection, the option, the little sweep play they were running. But again, I think Tennessee did a good job adjusting, making adjustments on defense and shutting it down, man. Shutting it down. I think they did a great job shutting down the Kentucky offense. And this game scared me more than any game left on the schedule. I feel confident. How do you guys feel? I saw somebody in the live chat saying earlier, 1 for 7-5, 2 for 6-6. What do you guys think? What do you think?
I told you Wednesday. I said if we go into Lexington and we win, we are going to win out because I like the way the rest of the schedule is set up. We get the bye week to get a little healthy. Missouri had Georgia today, and they have Florida next week while we're off. And then we go to Missouri. Like I said, though, it's on the road in the SEC, and it's always going to be tough. Have they announced the kick time for that game?
I don't think so.
Is that's the one?
Was that the alternate? It wasn't an alternate. It was like 7 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah. So, I almost would rather play a earlier game on the road than a night game. But I do like the fact that they're coming off of Georgia, Florida, and we're coming off a bye. And then of course we got Vandy, and let's face it, Vandy's not been a good football team this year. Yeah, they beat Missouri a couple weeks ago, but man, they've struggled. Their coach is on the hot seat right now. You got Muschamp on the hot seat after dropping the game to us and dropping the game to App State today. You had Taggart at FSU fired. He'd been there in his second year. Look at the situation that Florida State's going to be in now. That firing a coach after 22 games.
Yeah, but they're about ready to hire prime time.
Oh man, they're getting a little taste of what Tennessee's been through. I like to see it to any school from Florida down there. But man, it's college football is it's such a funny thing to follow and to watch. And it's always better when it's not your team suffering through something.
William Poole drops a $2 super chat. Says 7-5 would like to see the Vols versus Oklahoma State in the Liberty Bowl. Didn't they have? They had what was it? What bowl? There was a bowl committee in attendance. Yeah, Tax Slayer Bowl in attendance tonight.
I think that's where I think that if Tennessee wins out and finishes 7-5, I think that they'll play in the Tax Slayer Bowl. I think that's where they'll end up. If they go 6-6, they'll be in the Liberty. If they go 5-7, they'll go in the Toilet Bowl.
If this team goes 5-7, how deflated? It's so crazy at this point. It's
not going to be fun on Talkin VAWLS.
No, we keep
that right now.
Well, look what happens after a win. After a win, I'm yelling at people and screaming at people. Dauber's punching his microphone. JP's rolling his eyes. JP's woman, Brandy's in the live chat yelling at me. It's my wife's texting me, telling me to calm down. It's crazy. It's crazy what happens.
I didn't punch the microphone. I just closed the laptop.
You punched the microphone and the whole screen went black.
That's because I did that.
JP's like, please don't start again.
Yeah.
Hashtag
move on from this, guys.
Hashtag Dauber has a voice.
Hey, I gotta get in bed at some point in time.
Guys, Dauber or JP wants to go to bed. So if you want to keep him around, you better drop some super chats or you better go smash that thumbs up because we're in overtime. But I'm in a talkative mood and I want to stay. But if JP wants to go to bed, I'll let him go to bed. So you guys better drop some super chats or smash the like button, one or the other. We got 255 people, most viewed episode since the loss to Georgia State. Bryant Rockwell says hashtag Dauber has a voice, but I can shut his voice down real quick because we're going to build a wall. We're going to build a wall between the top of the page and the bottom. We're going to build a huge wall, and we're going to separate Dauber from us. That excellence up here at the top. Somebody, please tell me where to get that black UT hat. Dauber, tell them where you got that freaking baseball hat.
This is a let's see, mid to late 2000s baseball hat that I got when I was in school down there from buddy that was a team equipment manager when I was helping in marketing. So
I have that exact same hat in my closet, and it's covered with sweat stains. It's so nasty. Corn Dog Lover, another $1.99 super chat says hashtag JP 2020. You know, that's a t-shirt idea. I thought we could do the presidential election shirt, but there's 3 of us, so we would have to pick 2, and I don't know who would go on the shirt. That would probably be up to the Talkin VAWLS faithful to decide that. I missed a super. Oh, there it is. Aubman 256 says for $2, thanks for the support. We appreciate it. Don't go to the Birmingham Bowl. I think these bowl committees are hungry for Tennessee to make a bowl game. If Tennessee makes it to the postseason, there's going to be good attendance. So they want a Tennessee football team in the bowl game.
Yeah, they always want a Tennessee team there.
That's because they travel well. Tennessee always travels well.
Especially now when their fans are thirsty. Their fans are yelling at each other after a win over Kentucky, playing a wide receiver at quarterback. That's where we're at right now.
I'm thirsty for some Dr. Enough.
Missouri got beat 27-0. Georgia shut them out. Kelly Bryant didn't play. He must be hurt, I guess. I mean, I knew that he had been hurt, but didn't he play last week? I thought so. I don't know what his deal is.
Ricky Root says Boogie's going to build the wall and JP's going to pay for it. We're so off the rails, but we got 248 people hanging out. So I don't, but what I was going to say, I got so sidetracked. How crazy is it at this point in the season that this Tennessee team could go 7-5? What would that do for Jeremy Pruitt and this coaching staff going into the offseason if this team is 7-5? What happens if this team – what are you laughing at, the live chat?
Yeah, Brian Rockwell.
That's never going to happen. I got my fat clothes on, dude. I love cold weather because I can wear these big baggy shirts, and that's fat man stuff. I love cold weather. But what I was saying, 7-5, this team can go 7-5. How optimistic would this fan base be going into the offseason versus 5-7? How negative this fan base would be going. This is crucial territory. We're at a turning point in Tennessee football. Jeremy Pruitt could turn this thing around by winning these last two games, right or wrong.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at where we were at the end of last year coming into this season, and especially after the way it started, because that's what we're talking about. Oh, we dropped to Georgia State, the way we lose to BYU, and then you go back to the way we ended the season, and then it's an indictment for Pruitt and the whole team, and we're throwing the quarterback under the bus, and we're saying we've got to have a change, and it's just you end this season. Winning 5 games and going to a bowl and winning that's a 6-game win streak. There's a lot of teams that would take a 6-game win streak. There's a lot of teams that won't win 6 games at all, let alone 6 in a row.
Yeah. I mean, again, it would be an impressive turnaround and bounce back for sure. I mean, it certainly would. And again, it would be. It's even more impressive with the struggles at the quarterback play.
Oh goodness!
Well, and that's we talked about that Wednesday night. If we had even average quarterback play against Georgia State and BYU, both of those games are different outcomes.
It goes back to your preseason prediction. This team could be looking at 9 wins and an SEC East title.
Yeah.
SEC East title. But to play devil's advocate and get over here on JP's shoulder and side with him, you got to take blame for that Georgia State loss and the way you lost that BYU game. That BYU game was a toss-up to me, but it's the way they lost it that's so heartbreaking.
So is that coaches or is that players?
Going back to the way the BYU game ended, that one play is coaching. You have to coach your players to get back. That's 100% coaching. The Georgia State game, I don't know that you can pinpoint that. I don't know that I can sit here and put it on coaches or players.
That's my point. You can pick and choose moments in games.
Sure, 100%.
But over the course of an entire game, and to bring this thing full circle from the beginning, I don't think you can lay it on one or the other. It's a combination.
Well, there's a lot of times that we as casual fans don't freaking know what we're talking about.
Well,
we don't know if it's on players or coaches.
And after the fact, hindsight is 20/20.
Oh, that's why I came out hot and heavy to start the podcast. Because when somebody's coming at me, telling me how bad that the coach of this football team sucks and the offensive coordinator sucks.
But it wasn't me.
I know it wasn't. You were caught up in the crossfire. You got to calm down. But you did play it up, and it probably created views because you were like, yeah, nobody lets me talk. And then it created all this controversy, and it was so great. And the Talkin VAWLS faithful will look back at it and be like, remember that time that Boogie was yelling at JP and Dauber punched his microphone and slammed his laptop shut? Oh, what a moment. We'll celebrate that when they win the 2021 national championship. William Poole, $2 super chat, says, anyone see how high Tiger High was trolling on game day? I don't even know what that means.
That was last week, wasn't it? when Memphis and
Oh, yeah,
SMU
yeah, yeah.
played or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched game day in so long. I couldn't tell you what.
Little brother syndrome.
Yeah, I don't watch game day. It's nothing but a Big Ten or whatever, which is not worth a crap. They proved that again today with Penn State getting beat.
Man.
If anybody thinks that Minnesota would be close, would be better than 500 in the SEC, sorry, I just don't. I'm not buying it.
That's the thing is you can
Not
sit there and
buying
say, "Oh, Minnesota's a good football team." Yeah, maybe for the
They don't
Big
play
Ten,
nobody.
they wouldn't. They would be very mediocre in the SEC. I just want to hit this real quick. We're in overtime. You guys are getting free Talkin Vols tonight, and I'm having fun, man. You guys have been awesome tonight. The jokes in the live chat have been. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this stream and read all the political jokes, comparing me to Trump, saying I'm going on CNN, saying I'm gonna be. Oh, it's just amazing. I have to go back and watch it. But I just want to take a quick second to plug the Talkin VAWLS hoodie. It is available on bonfire.com/TalkinVaws3. All the links are in the description. You can still get the original logo t-shirt. You can still get the Egghead cartoon t-shirt, but the hoodie is available. It will ship in time for Christmas. If you want it, it's a good price, $34.99. That's hard to beat for a hoodie. A lot of times hoodie, they're like 50, 60, 70 bucks. The sleeves won't fall off like my shirt. So check them out. Again, all the links are in the description. We have hats as well. Go check them out. All of your support is appreciated. All of your support will go to buying our dinner at the Talkin VAWLS Christmas party.
Yeah.
Did you have any more comments? Anything else you want to say?
I had something, but you that ship is sailed.
I was plugging. I'm plugging away. Just plugging away. Unless we get a bunch of super chats in the next 30 seconds, we're probably going to wrap this thing up.
I think
I'm the white Stephen A. Smith.
Dwayne Williams was asking what we thought 7-5 would do for recruiting. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it helps with this class per se, but I think that it could certainly build some momentum for 2021.
I think the way they played the last few weeks has been huge. I think recruits saw how they played against Alabama.
Well, it has,
I think recruits have seen how this team has improved.
Yeah, but it's not showed up because we lost Alargy to LSU, and then we lost Hardy to Auburn. So there's the comment I want on fire.
There's the comment I want you to read, JP. Go ahead and read that on there and give them an answer.
Would 7-5 get us? Yeah.
Would it?
I mean, my problem is the last two guys that committed this week, the offensive lineman and then that defensive end. I'd never even heard of those guys until they committed. So that's the thing. There's these guys that are committing that these recruiting analysts that we don't even know that they even say that they're on the radar. Really, they just come out of the blue. Now, I know that.
Do you trust this coaching staff though to find more so than the last staff to pick and find these guys that maybe some other teams aren't as high on?
Yeah, I guess one of the big things that I've just noticed is this staff is at least if they are taking kids that aren't highly rated or highly recruited, most of them at least have some size to them.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I was just going to say it was just kind of like after those first two recruiting classes that Butch Jones had, it was, he was willing to sign a fringe 4-star out of Florida somewhere that weighed 160 pounds soaking wet,
And that doesn't fit the system.
Yeah. Just because that he had a star beside his name, and that goes back to Pruitt. Pruitt knows what, especially on defense, Pruitt knows what a good defensive player looks like. I don't think anybody can dispute that. And I'll say the same thing for Chaney. I mean, Chaney knows. I mean, Chaney likes big offensive linemen, and that's that's the topic is that Tennessee's recruiting, and I like that. I like
relates to him.
it. Yeah, yeah. Maybe they like to share corn dogs. I don't know.
Guys, should we wrap this show up? You want to ask the live chat, or JP, are you so tired you don't want to ask the live chat?
I don't care.
If you want us to keep going live, put a 1 in the live chat. If you're ready for bed, put a 2. I'm gonna take a big sip of my Gatorade.
I've drank so much Gatorade tonight. I'm about
You noticed I
Gatorade
had two at my computer desk. Oh, they want us to keep going. IC86 says, "Shut this crap down, Boogie. You've lost complete control."
I think we've got back on track.
You're welcome.
We're rolling.
You're welcome, dude. We got 256 people hanging out.
What do you think about App State beating South Carolina tonight? Woo! I mean, you think Muschamp's on the hot seat?
Definitely. I mean, they were clamoring for him after we beat them. I mean, it's like Boogie said earlier. It's college football is what have you done for me lately? And
look at Fulmer.
Yeah. I mean, one season removed from the SEC championship, he's getting canned.
Yep.
I mean, it's that's why I like this team and where we are right now and the way we're trending. Yeah, we've still got things to clean up. We've still got things to fix. We still got questions that are unanswered. I mean, we're sitting here asking who we think should play quarterback in our next game. We don't know. It's not clear cut. There's not an answer.
I'm curious to see how that plays out next year. Corn Dog Lover must sell a lot of corn dogs. With another $1.99 super chat says, enough corn dogs to go around. Always, everybody enjoy.
Yeah, it is interesting to see what's going to happen.
Is Garantano coming back? Is it? You think for sure? You think for sure he's coming back?
This guy right up here. Let's see.
Is that me?
No, this guy right up here.
The nega ball
said Harrison Bailey will come in and be day one starter.
Well, he also wanted to fire Pruitt.
Are you still on that? I mean,
are you going to attack him now, and I'm going to have to get mad?
No.
Holy smokes, what's going to happen?
I'm just asking. Do you think that's still the case, JP? Do you think if we keep Bailey and he does sign, do you think he's still day one starter?
Based on what I've seen from Maurer, no. I mean, I'm not saying that Bailey won't be day one starter, but I definitely think Maurer can give him some competition for sure.
What about Garantano?
Who knows? I mean, I think that if anybody right now can sit there and say that they know what's going to happen, there is no way.
I want to give a shout out to Zach real quick. I don't know who you are. I don't know what your YouTube name is, but you just supported the T-shirt campaign, buying a hoodie. We appreciate that. We thank you for the support. I just got an email. Go ahead, Dauber.
Could we roll 4 quarterbacks out?
That's what we've done this year, according to the SEC Network narrative. I love how they spin that. Tennessee has quarterback problems. They've started 4 quarterbacks. Oh, shut up! Just because they started Jennings one time.
No, I mean seriously though, we're sitting here talking about our game in 2 weeks. Who's going to play? It's because the quarterback play has been so erratic and so up and down. We've had all the guys in there show some positive aspects that they've had some drives down the field, and then we've had them come in and look like high school kids. It's one of those things. And I talked about it a little bit before. These guys that put up monster numbers in high school, they've got the liberty of usually a couple guys on the edge, wide receivers, and that's the case with Bailey. What's the wide receivers?
Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Yeah.
Kid's
Beast.
awesome. Yeah, I mean, so basically, he's torching guys down the field, and Bailey's just throwing it up. Not saying that that's the only reason Bailey is putting up the numbers he is. I mean, the kid spins it. He throws the ball well, but it's numbers are skewed when you look at high school recruits, and that's the one thing I don't like about all these recruiting services and star ratings and all of this, because the playing field in high school and the evaluation, the talent isn't not everybody sees the same level of talent. You look at a kid that goes to a smaller school and gets rated a 3-star or a 2-star, and they work their butt off. But you look at a kid that goes to Marietta and has a quarterback that can throw the ball, but they just put up monster numbers. Is the talent level even? What are how does that star rating? How do you compare that? I mean, we see it here locally in high school football where they have the divisions. Does it mean that a kid that plays at, South is any better or worse than a kid that plays at Dobbins Bennett? Because the school size is based on the classification that they're in high school football. I mean, it's kind of skewed. And again, we're not even talking about 18 to 22-year-olds. We're talking about, kids that just got their license to 17-year-old kids. And how many of those don't even pan out?
That's why you got to go back. You got to go back to
a lot of them don't.
Yeah, you got to go back to being able to determine who's a good football player and who's not. You got to go back to player development. There's a lot of factors. Player development is a huge thing,
right,
in the Bush Jones era that caused a major issue. And I think we're seeing. Look at the defensive line. This defensive line, we had no confidence in. This offensive line, and yeah, they've struggled late as of late. But we've talked about them earlier in the season as being a strong point. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing players develop early. We're talking about 2 true freshmen offensive tackles. We're seeing Brian Maurer come in as a freshman quarterback, making some plays. And we're talking about can he get on the field as a starter versus Garantano, who there should be no doubt in our minds that Garantano is the starter. So we're seeing player development, which I think is a huge plus for this coaching staff moving forward.
Yeah. My question for next year is you look at one thing that I'm kind of, on the fence about it is going to be wide receiver play. We're losing a lot.
Yep, a lot of talent.
Brandon Johnson, though, stepping up and taking a red shirt to sitting out this year to help the team for next year. I like that. Palmer will be a senior next year. Is that right?
Yeah, Palmer is senior next year.
I mean, we've got some guys but we're going to have to go out, and I think T. Martin is going to have to find some wide receiver guys, some edge guys, some speed. That's one thing that we've not had in a long time is a burner on the edge that can get vertical and just torch somebody, that where your safeties kind of have to shade that side and help. But man, I just the potential for this team, if we get some pieces that we need the next couple of years, I like the way we are trending.
I was going to let JP talk, but I think he's ready for bed.
I'm just listening to Dauber.
My biggest question is, can this team find a way to win the games they're supposed to win? That's the biggest downfall this year. Beating a dead freaking horse. If they had taken care of business against BYU and Georgia State, where would your mindset be if this team had beaten Georgia State and they had beaten BYU? And right now they're sitting on 7 wins with a chance to win 9 and compete for the SEC. They would be right in the mix for an SEC East title.
We would be complaining that we still can't.
Should have beat Alabama.
Alabama, Georgia.
We are you. We are you. Let's be honest. We are you. I would be stoked right now if this team had
the
won
fan
7
base
games.
would be, though. I mean, in general.
Yeah, but I mean, I tell you what, we win those first 2 games. We're 3-0 going into Florida. I mean, that could be a different story. You got to look at the mindset of this team.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's what Davis said earlier in the podcast.
Jimmy Loveless right there. Bring back the beer barrel trophy. Absolutely. When I was listening to the radio, Kessling had, no joke, 2 different ads talking about selling beer and plugging Coors Light and the official beer of the Vols. So if we're going to have an official beer of the Vols, why can't we have a beer barrel trophy? Why can't we have that tradition?
Yeah.
And that, I mean, makes no sense. Makes no sense at all.
I'm laughing in the live chat at our regular listeners. I think that's going to wrap it up. JP's falling asleep. Dauber's just getting warmed up. I've calmed down. I've chilled out. It's amazing that there's still 242 of you here. I got us some thumbs down with my rant to start the show. You can fix that by smashing that thumbs up on your way out. It's easy. Close the live chat, hit the thumbs up. I say it all the time, and you guys are like, "Oh, it's a bit." Blah blah blah. It helps. If you love the Vols, if you love JP, if you love Dauber, and you hate me, it's fine. If you love those guys and you want to help this podcast, hit the thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. It's huge to the Talkin VAWLS podcast. We would definitely appreciate it. Tennessee is off this coming week. IC86 says we love you guys too. They're off this week. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we'll do the Wednesday show or just a Saturday show. We'll figure it out. GUI 865 drops $1.99 super chat. Says, JP, this is just for you.
Thank you.
Hashtag JP has a voice too. He's gonna close his laptop and go to bed, and him and his woman are gonna talk about what a jerk I am. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's okay. It's fine. Controversy creates 250 people hanging out in the live chat. But that's gonna wrap it up. Talkin VAWLS episode number 69. We'll be back sometime next week. We got to talk. We got to figure it out. Follow us on Twitter at TalkinVAWLS_pod. Look us up on Facebook. Just search Talkin VAWLS, and we will keep you guys updated. We will let you guys know what we're going to do next week. I would imagine we'll do one or the other, just one show next week. Let's take a break, either Wednesday or Saturday. We'll figure it out. JP and Dauber got some basketball news coming to you moving forward, so look forward to that. But that's going to wrap it up for Vols JP, for Dauber Greer. I love you guys. I'm passionate, and I apologize. Go Big Orange.
Jack Kerouac, he drank himself to death in New England, and I'd like to take his hand and say, Jack, man, it's okay. Now he's gone, and we're left to move on without him. The songs how like me, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls on broken passes inundated or that we call home. And it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. Black and white headlights pierce, patrols, blazing arrows, burning me to the marrow. But fire brings peace as well as it brings fear.